Hello, it's another vocal video. I'm Jay. I am going through Patsy Ruttenberg's book, The Need for Words. And she is getting, in this chapter 5, she has got some very chunky exercises for improving your vocal skills, your ability to speak, your ability to communicate. And last time was debating, and this time it is forms and codes of language. So this is the idea that there is a shift. You have elaborate codes and you have restricted codes, and this is what was apparently in the 1960s. A British psychologist Basil Bernstein grouped these spoken codes under two useful headings: elaborated and restricted codes. We're going to do elaborated codes today. By elaborated, we mean that if we can speak an elaborated version of the English language, we use acceptable forms of English that any educated speaker will be able to understand. This elaborated code involves a formal rather than a colloquial or vernacular use of language. It is clear, efficient, and accurate use of item that allows us to employ a wide range of creative phrases and grammatical varieties like subordinate clauses. Elaborate codes are generally carried in clear, accurate sentences. Any words used could be looked up in an up-to-date dictionary. This is a crackable code. This is the open source code. You don't have to go to special areas and have special knowledge to be able to understand what I'm saying. I think if you're someone who is a news reader, this would very much be what you would use like in a newspaper, a general interest newspaper, maybe put that the idea of that, saying like, any writer of the Age of Reason, Swift, Pope, Samuel Johnson, and many later Victorian writers explore all their ideas in elaborated verbal codes. Don't know if that's, yeah. So, and yeah, when academics deplore the debasement of language, they are making a plea for clear, elaborated speech without the use of restricted words, the words that cannot be cracked through a dictionary. And so she has an exercise for this, which is try doing a speaking exercise in which every word, phrase, and sentence of a given address must be understood by each listener in a group. And he says, describe a complex idea like world economy or conservation by using language that will convey these ideas to a non-specialist audience. The language you use should not contain slang, jargon, or unrecognizable words. The listener should instantly challenge anything that is not clear. Obviously, I don't have any listeners, but I guess I'll have to re-listen to it myself. You'll quickly discover that this is a hard assignment because so much discourse is carried out in restricted codes. So I don't have any great knowledge about the world economy or conservation, but I figured I would explain what is BookTube, and this would be like explaining BookTube to an audience that is not familiar with the internet at all, I guess would be the way of putting it. So yeah, that's my exercise. So what is BookTube? Well, BookTube is something that is contained within YouTube. So let me start off by explaining to you, dear audience, what YouTube is. YouTube, which was founded in 2005, is the largest video sharing site on the planet. Now, what does this mean? This means that anyone with access to, a phone, or the simplest thing would be like a phone. Anything that's got like a camera on it that has a connection to the internet. I'm not going to explain the internet to you. Can take a video and then can upload that video to this website and share it with others. And you can so anyone can do this. You can upload as many videos as you want and watch as many videos as you watch for free. There are lots of legal caveats about this of I'm not going to get into at the moment, but let's just say it's just a like this video right here. I'm videoing myself taking a picture. Now, if I was using copyrighted stuff, that's a whole different thing, and you can go into that. Or if you're doing something illegal, that would also be something that they would have issues with. But let's just pretend you're not using somebody's copyrighted material and you are not doing something that's horribly illegal. You can upload that, and anyone else in the world can watch this. So that is the that's the base thing of what YouTube is. So there is multiple areas of who uses this site. Now, traditional media has started using YouTube with music, movies, TV shows, all the radio podcasts have all used this. But I think what YouTube is probably best known for, outside of that, is user generated videos. So this is where people like you or me, or people who have production companies, even independent people who they hired some people, can upload videos. But in the simplest form, a joker in his room can set up his phone, point it at him, press record, take a video, and then upload that up. The amount of videos, because this is now one of the largest, most visited sites, I think, in the world. Don't quote me on this, my things, but it's gigantic. The amount uploaded is staggering. It is one of these things of like there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of videos and thousands upon thousands of hours have been uploaded as I have been speaking. So it's just a staggering amount. This can really only be tracked at this point by computers and if there's something particularly egregious, it gets flagged and shown to somebody else, or other users who watch the video can also flag those videos. Now the other it sounds like, okay, this is the video sharing part of the site, but what's the social media portion of the site? Below each video, there is a comments box, and you can post comments about the video above, and the people who post the video can respond to those comments if they wish, which is what there's a lot of people do not. They come to the site to watch videos, but they don't want to put themselves on camera. They don't make their own videos, or they quickly discover how difficult and time consuming it is to make your own videos. So it's interactive that way, of you can make comments. However, you can also do the thing of, I watch somebody talk about an issue and I go, oh, I have a different point of view. I could leave a comment in the comment box below, or I can make my own video and I can upload that. Something that's very different from television, where I guess you could write an angry letter to the station, but nobody else would see that letter, and it's probably highly doubtful that the people who made the content to begin with are going to actually do it. I mean, it's more akin to a newspaper, where you would have people would write in, and if the newspaper deemed it acceptable, they would publish your letter in a letters page that they happen to have. I don't think newspapers actually do that much anymore in their physical media, in their physical papers, though. So it's highly interactive that way, which I think is where we're getting into the social media point of the thing. Now, there is as many different subdivisions of YouTube as there are users, and this is more of a kind of self-created thing where there are different corners. What happens is, if you watch a video by somebody and go, oh, I like their video, you can subscribe to their channel, and any of their videos will appear on your subscription page. You'll have there's a page in your account where you can say, oh, I've subscribed to these people. Did any of those people make a video today? Oh, yes, this one did. Oh, maybe that's the one I'll watch, because I've expressed and I've actually subscribed to them. The other thing that happens is that YouTube is always watching. It's got computers that are trying to track all these videos for content, for copyright, and all that stuff. They also track what videos you've watched in the past, and have computers that will try and make predictions of, well, if you like this video, maybe you'll like this video, which is often what you see on a homepage of like, oh, you seem to be really interested in model trains. Here's some more videos about model trains. At least that's how it's supposed to happen. So what happens is, because there is a huge, vast ocean videos. There's a whole ton of videos in French. I never get recommended those because I don't speak French and I never watch those videos, so those videos never get recommended to me. And because they're in French, I also don't subscribe to the channel, so I don't get it that way. It narrows it down into like English speaking videos. There might even be a thing where when I'm log myself onto the computer, there may have actually been a thing where I said like, okay, oh, I'm Canadian and I speak English, and they went, oh, okay, well then we're just going to show you these videos, versus if I said, oh, I'm Canadian, oh, and I speak French, then it would probably this video. So it narrows it down, and it gets narrower and narrower the more it's like how I subscribe to these 20 channels, so it's only going to show me these 20 channels. And there's these particular interests that I've advanced, so it's only going to show me this, which is a way of making it a community, making it into a much narrower field of like, I am very ignorant of like, video games. I have no idea other than, the odd news story. I have no idea of all the people who are streaming videos, video game streamers who do play-alongs where you watch them play a video game and make witty remarks, and that's entertaining. It's like I have no clue about that, which you can probably tell from my terrible description of that. So as you use it, you end up self-selecting out who you're going to watch, who you're interacting with, and that becomes a community in itself. So one of those interest groups is in books, and you can probably go a good ways where you're looking at author interviews and stuff like that, where you would think, oh, okay, it's author interviews, it's maybe out of copyright books being read, stuff like that. But at a certain point, you'll probably click on it, was like, oh, I really like that book. Oh, here's somebody talking about this book. Oh, they have a whole channel that's devoted to reviewing books, and they like that book. And oh, it turns out they like a lot of other books, the particular type of book that I like, so I follow them. And turns out that they know other people and talk about other people on their channel, or they do various little community things. Like there's things that are called tags, where it is sort of it's a easy made content for a video, where there's like 5 questions, and you'll answer the questions about that tag, and you'll tag other people, and you'll have gotten this tag from somebody else, and it will have been created by somebody else, and you're getting this group of people who are all centered around books, and maybe a particular type of books. So you've got literary, science fiction, fantasy, crime, mystery, romance, nonfiction, with history or biography, and basically all the sections of your bookstore. So there's narrowing it. You can narrow it down that, like, I read fantasy and I read history, so maybe those are the channels that you focus on. The other way that you end up narrowing it down is like, it's people. You're interacting with other people, and it's like, oh, this group of people I don't jibe with. They're, whether it's politically, or maybe they're just really intense gatekeepers about, nobody should read romance except they're true romance readers, or something like that, and you're like, oh, I don't like that, so I'm going to go over here where they're much more kind of laid back and welcoming. Or no, I too feel very strongly about who should read romances, so I'm going to hang out with these people. It's all this different stuff that will focus you further into either, it's like little subgroups, like, I like science fiction, but I only like steampunk, or it's like, oh, I'm not really interested in romances, but oh, I really like listening to this person talk, so I'm gonna hang out with them because I just like I enjoy their company, their social company. So that's how you get a group of people on this video sharing group that generally get called BookTube. And BookTube, which is such a tiny little interest on YouTube in comparison to, something like music or something like gaming and stuff like that, it has within itself multiple different categories. YA was very big at one point, and probably still is gigantic, but it wasn't an interest of mine, so I don't know about it at all. It's one of these things of how you, and I also find, I think, as what is BookTube? BookTube is my manageable community of book loving people on the internet who I get along with, who I have a general kind of same interest with. Like I'm interested. They put out enough videos. I go, oh, that's kind of interesting, and I'll click on it, and then I'll interact with that. So hopefully that was a fairly clear, not concise explanation of what is BookTube. So yeah, that's the exercise from Patsy Runberg. It's a good kind of exercise of trying to say explain things out as hopefully clearly and as openly as possible in a way that I think hopefully anybody reading it could, listening to it could. I mean, you could go into the technical stuff, I guess would be the only other thing, is saying, you know, it's saying, okay, here is there's a little app on my phone for YouTube. I open the app, and then okay, I want to, yeah, this is my channel. You can see not just bikes, one of the channel's other interests of mine, but there's a little plus sign here. I press the plus sign, and I can upload a video. So I click on upload a video, and I don't have any videos, but if there was a video here, I would click on it and I would upload that. I can make a little description box talking about what the video is. I can there are tags that you can put on a video, because like if this was a video about my bike, I might put, bicycles. And if I was going to talk about, bicycle, I commute to work. So commuting to work, city bike riding, all sorts of little descriptors, so that when someone typed in a little like, oh, I'm interested in this, there is a search engine for YouTube, which I think is the second most used search engine after its parent company, Google, where you could just type in, oh, I want to bike commuting. And if for some reason my video was liked, and a lot of people who also were interested in biking had watched my video and pressed like, and they'd watched the entire video, it would probably come up fairly high in the search function for bike commuting. The thing about YouTube in general is you can have a microscopic channel like myself, which is 7 or 8 subscribers, 6 or 7 of them who are all robots, or you can have somebody who has millions upon millions of subscribers, whose every video gets thousands and thousands and thousands of views, millions of views, millions of comments, which then it's interesting how the different levels, like as you're smaller, there's more interaction, whereas when you get larger, it becomes more like television, because the poor creator cannot interact with their audience to the degree that if I get one comment on a video, oh, well, I'm definitely I'm gonna interact with that. But yeah, so that is BookTube. That is BookTube on YouTube. An interesting little exercise. I'll leave it there. More videos later.